Hello, I'm Princess Shayla and you're watching Airlim.
Hey there, welcome back to another video, and today I'm going to be talking about Zero Horizon Dawn, and this was the free comic book that's kind of started off the entire series. I'm going to kind of go over, I think, depending on how it is. So I subscribed to this and I kind of really want to kind of read this because Horizon Zero Dawn was a really good game and one of my favorites on the PlayStation. If you want to join me on reviewing these and you want to know the story, then hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as the cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. And yeah, let's just jump straight into it. So this comic book basically is, I think, the way to kind of start off the series, where you're getting introduced to these new characters. Now there's a character called Sunhawk, and she, I'm guessing, is kind of the leader from this. I had to go over it quite a few times because it doesn't really, to me anyway, it doesn't kind of set out. It just says, here is Aloy, she's left, she's doing something different, she's carrying on a journey, and they kind of are all talking about random things. Like, it's how do I say it? It's really weird because I was reading it and I was like, it feels like this shouldn't be in issue 0 or issue 1. This should have come much later, where it starts kind of introducing you to these new characters. But it just feels like they're talking about what's going on in their kingdom, and then obviously they're attacking these, like, the monsters and the robot dinosaurs, should I say, the machines. Where they kind of go through it all the time, they defeat them, and they kind of move on from it. And then basically Sunhawk decides that she is going to leave this entire area and kind of go on a journey. And you kind of get maybe a kind of taste for this, but to me, I generally didn't kind of like it that much. I was expecting it to be something like amazing, to kind of kickstart something where you're like, oh my god, like, I could really get into this. Now, I'm very kind of fussy when it comes to comic books, when it comes to kind of paper. Now this kind of reminds me of the time of when I was younger, where I would get really crappy comic books that they weren't printed on nice paper, and I've got to admit, the artwork to me doesn't kind of stand out. For a huge game of this entire whole magnitude, you'd kind of think that they would have a better artist on board, or maybe they're kind of testing it for a free comic book, and then when they jump straight into the series, that's when you're going to get much better kind of like artwork for this. Now I've seen the artwork for all the kind of the variants that are coming out, and they are stunning. I've even got pretty much 1 or 2 of them downstairs that I really want to get framed. There's 1 or 2 that I just think are kind of stunning. When I kind of feel this comic book, I kind of felt like, to me, it felt a bit cheap, which is a bit kind of weird because normally I wouldn't kind of think of this. Obviously this was free, but if this is the sort of quality that we're getting all the way through, then it may make me kind of pull back, or at least just get some of the nice artwork rather than going like, hey, I'm going to buy every single one that I did with Power Rangers. I feel that in this, that there is, again, it feels like a very rushed story to kind of bring this out. Just say, hey, here you go, here is this, and you're gonna like this. Like, you could have had this a bit more built up. The last few pages in this is just literally, here is Aloy, this is what you've got. Here's Taliana Kane Paddish is the name of the character, who is basically the Sun King or Sunhawk. So yeah, okay, I just kind of skipped over it because when looking at the back of this, I generally was like, I don't really want to know this just straight away. I kind of really want this to come out later on, like maybe you could talk about it and say, hey, I'm this character and I'm doing this. So they got like a really nice 3D model at the end of here where they show you the character, what she looks like, and I can't remember if she was actually in the game or if she's like, you don't really see it because it's been a while since I've played the game. To me, I'm excited that this comic book is coming out. I think that this would have worked really well at the time of when the game was just coming out. I think kind of a lead up for a free comic book. I got mine off eBay because my comic book shop doesn't sell them, and I was so gutted. But from what I've got, I'm kind of going to be invested in the series at least. I kind of really want to see what it's like, if it's worth it, if it's worth continuing it, or is it going to be one where I kind of go, well, I'm only going to collect it until the end, and then that's particularly it. So yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool. Also, I kind of never really thought. It says it's like is it 1,000 years? Yeah, it's like 1,000 years, and the civilization of Earth's gone, and you don't really see that many buildings. I generally was thinking, for what the world is, that you would have tons and tons and tons of buildings that you could have easily adapted them. But again, like, it's been a while since I've played the game, and I know everything's been kind of crumbling. But yeah, I'm going to leave it there on this one. This is an okay one. I just wouldn't expect it. I think that if I read this and wanted to jump in, I probably would have just steered away. So I'm hoping that issue 1 is going to be a lot different, and it's going to be more that will kind of like entice me into this. If they don't explain in the first issue about what happens in this one, then I'll be very kind of like, if that makes sense. So yeah, hopefully the issue 1 will kind of capture me, and I'll be like, yeah, I really want to read this. But yeah, I am going to leave it there. What are your thoughts? Have you read this issue? What do you think of Horizon Zero Dawn? Is it a game that you really liked? Let me know down below in the comments. And if you like this sort of content and you want to see more, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, as well as that cheeky notification bell to be notified when more videos drop. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next comic book review or video. Either one.